Dispute between China and the Philippines over the South China Sea have intensified in the past year. On April 30th, the Philippines accused China's Coast Guard of obstructing movement in its waters by reinstalling a barrier at the disputed shoal of the South China Sea. It claims that two of their vessels were targeted by the Chinese Coast Guards and damaged by direct use of water cannons.
The disputed waters of the South China Sea have been witnessing clashes between the Chinese and the Philippines Coast Guards, with both attacking each other's vessels for over 20 times this year. In the latest maritime face-off in the long-running tensions between the two countries, the Philippines Coast Guards have accused China of attacking their vessels with water cannons on April 30th. The Philippine ship was on a patrol along with a civilian fisheries vessel near the Scarborough Shoal when the two Chinese Coast Guard vessels allegedly attacked them with water cannons. After causing significant damage to the two vessels and injuring the crew, China blocked the entrance to the shoal by setting up floating barriers. Disregarding the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, China directly used water cannons against the Philippines vessels for the first time. The attack has caused structural damage to the Philippines Coast Guard ship and the fisheries vessel.
The Chinese Coast Guard now has elevated the tension and the level of their aggression as well towards the Philippine Coast Guard vessel. This is the first time that we can say that the Coast Guard vessel has been subjected to a direct water cannon with that kind of pressure that even resulted to structural damage of the Philippine Coast Guard.
Meanwhile, the Chinese Foreign Ministry has warned Philippines of challenging its sovereignty and to stop any further provocation. On the other hand, the Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson sternly stated that they would continue their mission towards the shoal despite China's provocation and would refrain from escalating the situation further.
Despite of all the provocation of the Chinese Coast Guard, our Coast Guard vessel and BFAR remains to be there. This goes to show that we're not going to be deterred. Our Philippine Maritime Forces, whether BFAR or Coast Guard, will still carry out our mission in protecting the interests of the Filipino fishermen.
In protest against China's alleged aggression, Philippines summoned a Chinese diplomat. Accusing China of escalating tensions, Philippines has urged the boats to leave the waters immediately. The United States has also condemned China's irresponsible behavior and disregard to the international law. Meanwhile, Philippines has assured to protect the Mutual Defense Treaty.
Filipino crews are put in danger, where sailors have been injured and property damage. That's irresponsible behavior, and it disregards international law. So, Phil, I won't get into any hypotheticals on what could happen and how it could happen. I would just say that you've heard me say, you've heard our president say a number of times that our commitment to the treaty is ironclad, and we stand with the Philippines.
We are very conscious of the fact that we need to assert our rights, but in a manner that safeguards the safety of each and every member of the Philippine Armed Force, which is the principal actor in the area. And the talk about MDT sometimes also is exploited in the international press and used sometimes as a bogeyman in order for our countries bilaterally and multilaterally to go forward with legitimate hardening measures for the Republic of the Philippines.
Clashes between China and Philippines have occurred repeatedly in the recent months at the submerged reef inside Philippines' exclusive economic zone. The Scarborough Shoal is a part of one of the major shipping routes, South China Sea, and is source of around $3.4 trillion of annual commerce. The fallout of the clash between the two global South nations is causing disruptions in the maritime movements in the region, thereby adversely impacting global trade and commerce.